Yes, people, then welcome back to Arsenal TV. I am your host, Dini, and before I start this match reaction, help me get up to 10 likes on this video. Nice and early, people. That would be greatly appreciated. And we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers on the channel. And I'll say thank you again for everyone that has subscribed so far. You're making this journey very, very beautiful for myself and very, very enjoyable. So I want to say thank you. Smash the subscriber button. And we're going to get into this. We're going to get into this match reaction because it's Arsenal 2, Olympiacos 0, but a multitude of talking points, in my opinion. The first talking point is, this is in no particular order, but Martin Odegaard is back. That's one talking point. The depth of our squad, that's another talking point. The starting 11 alone is a talking point, and I'll say why. Gyökeres is a talking point, and just Arsenal in general. But where are we going to start? Let's start with the starting 11. Because when the starting 11 came out, I was surprised with the amount of changes. I'm thinking you beat Newcastle. The handbrake was let off. You know what I'm saying? We saw in the first half against Newcastle that we had a host of chances and we could have been out of sight by then and everything else. And we know the story of Newcastle, but I'm thinking we got the win in the end. So I'm thinking that same team will probably start this game for some consistency and finding the best team you can possible, ideally. But one thing I forget with Arsenal is that, well, I don't forget, sometimes it just slips my mind that our squad depth is crazy. Our squad depth is crazy and no position in the Arsenal team is safe. Even when Havertz comes back as well, Gyökeres is going to, you know what I'm saying? I don't think Gyökeres will feel the pressure because Gyökeres is Gyökeres. But every position on the pitch is up for grabs. Maybe the 6, maybe not the 6 as well with Zubimendi. But my point is, White started that game. White came in for Timber. Skelly came in for Calafiori. Odegaard came in for Eze. Trossard started on the left and Martinelli on the right, I think it was. And as I said, winning team, got the win. I was thinking that Arteta would name the same team, but he didn't. Because to be fair to him, at the same time, Arsenal need to protect their players. We do, because we've seen with the amount of injuries at the same time too. And with the squad depth alone, you're able to rotate and still get the same quality of performance from players. That is, the transfer window cannot go understated at all. What Berta's done cannot go understated at all. And the recruitment has just been insane that we are in this position. There was one point in the game, it was in the first half actually, where I saw Dalman, Wanyeri, Rice, Saka, Eze, all warming up. And I said, yo, we are spoiled. We are very, 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 very spoiled, but I'm happy about that in terms of choice. Absolutely in terms of choice. And as I said, when you name a different 11, you want to make sure that you're getting the same performance, the same set of performance from players because positions are up for grabs. So it's going to be interesting who starts against West Ham on Saturday. But the game, 2 minutes in, we should have been 1-0 up. Martinelli should have scored. Beautiful flowing move from David Raya to Odegaard into Skelly. Skelly sends it down the line and he crosses it into the box and Martinelli should score and send us 1-0 up. Martinelli should have had 2 goals and 1 assist yesterday. 2 goals from that first goal, opening chance, score. The goal he actually scores. And then literally about 2-3 minutes afterwards, when they're on a break as well. And if Martinelli just looks up, Gyökeres is in all the space in the world. And you probably have 2 goals and assists and he probably gets the man of the match instead of Odegaard. Would he have got the man? Probably, yeah. He probably would have got the man in the match instead of Odegaard. But at the end of the day, Martinelli's on the score sheet. Is that 3 and 3? 3 and 3? Either way, because Martinelli was someone that I'm onto this season, and I want him to produce the goods. And in the first in the first start of the season, in this first period from August till now, he is delivering the goods. Slowly but surely, he is delivering the goods as well. Martinelli's been very, very effective. But as I said, in that first half, from a beautiful flowing move, when Martinelli misses his chance, that was a mainstay of the first half in the terms that we were just bopping it about. Some of the beautiful passing patterns in that first half were just lovely to see. Really, really lovely to see. Not holding on to ball, getting the ball out of feet, 1-2 touch passing, boom, boom, boom. We was on them. Olympiacos in that first half couldn't necessarily handle Arsenal. There was only one team in that game in the first half, and that was Arsenal. Bar one chance from Daniel Podence. The ball gets sent in and Podence is there. I think it's either a header or a volley. And Raya makes a big, big, big save with his left hand. And that's something else I want to praise Raya and Mikel Arteta about as well. Mikel Arteta brings him in for Ramsdale. My thoughts and feelings on the situation have been said many, many times before. But on Raya, when you aren't required as much in a game to make the host of saves that are needed up against it, you can lose concentration. You can lose concentration. And that's one of the things that Ramsdale said in the interview, that sometimes it's hard to concentrate for 90 minutes. David Raya concentrates for 90 minutes because, as I said again, Arsenal was only one team in the game in the first half, and that was Arsenal. But when a chance falls to Daniel Podence and it's literally on target and you think it's going to be a goal, David Raya makes an absolutely outstanding world-class save to keep it 1-0. You need your players to be switched on for the whole game, and that's the simple reason. Raya is here and Ramsdale isn't. Very, very simple. And throughout the entirety of that first half, we could have been 2-3 goals up before half time. We absolutely could have been. And then we get into the second half. And Olympiacos, to be fair to them, they changed the formation. They went to a 4-4-2. They were a bit more calmer on the ball as well, holding on to the ball a bit more as well, playing. And they were dangerous on the counter. They were dangerous on the transition themselves as well. They had a couple tricky players. Gelson Martins was there. Chiquinho was there. Chiquinho's had a decent season for Olympiacos so far this season. I think he's their top scorer. I could be wrong. El Kabay. Also, they brought a Mediterranean as well when they went to a 4-4-2. They were harder to break down in the second half. And to be fair to them, they could have got a goal back. They were trying hard. But Arsenal kept they stayed resilient, and then during the second half, Arteta makes his substitutions. Obviously, we lost Gabriel due to injury, but after the game where I saw him walking around, it didn't seem like necessarily it was something to worry about. So I'm sure we'll hear that over the next couple of days if he's going to be fit. But there's also an international break coming up, so these players will get rest if there are any injuries or stuff, or little niggles here and there. But Olympiacos made it difficult for us. But as I said in the beginning, like, our squad depth is ridiculous. I think I said it already. Wanyeri, Dalman, Rice, Saka, Eze, and the first were all warming up at one point. I said, yeah, squad depth is ridiculous. And most of those players come on in the second half. Timber comes on, Rice comes on, Mosquera comes on for injured Gabriel. And then Eze and Saka as well. And if you can bring that off if any Premier League team, any team in the world could bring that off their bench to support the game, to shore it up, to make sure that we win the game, it's not bad at all. And if Arsenal can get the formula right between all the players, we are going to do some serious things this season. We can do, if the formula is right. And as I said, Saka comes on and gets his goal. It's another cutting move, a cutting pass, I should say, from Martin Odegaard, who was just brilliant yesterday. He was absolutely just brilliant. It's the Odegaard that I've missed. It's the Odegaard I know that can play football. Play in those cutting balls, first ball to Gyökeres, who holds off to two defenders so that Martinelli can get his goal. The press from Odegaard as well. He kept everything ticking. Martin Odegaard was at the heart of everything that was good coming from Arsenal yesterday. That is not an understatement. If that's an understatement, let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to Arsenal TV. And in saying that, he deservedly got the man of the match award. There was no one else that could have got the man of the match yesterday apart from Martin Odegaard. As I said at the beginning, Martinelli could have, if he gets his head, if he scores his header and then gets his head up and assists Gyökeres, he could have. Very, very much different. But Martin Odegaard, very, 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 very much well deserving of the win. And when you do rotate your team the way we did and still get a similar performance, strong performance, you cannot be upset. Because as I said, Arsenal need to be careful with the players this season, injuries, with the amount of games that are going to be played. It's a World Cup year, international friendlies. Everything's all coming in this year, and it's going to be a hectic year in terms of football. So managing the squad is paramount, absolutely paramount. That's one thing I got into Arteta last season: squad management, game management, everything, in-game tactics, everything else. Slowly but surely, it's coming together, but we are going to wait and see. You understand? One thing I do want to touch on, right? After the game yesterday, the players were clapping. Arteta was clapping the home fans, clapping the Emirates Stadium crowd. And then I saw something, and I'm thinking, it's probably nothing. It's really probably nothing, but I'm going to say it anyway. There was a moment after the game yesterday, and if you blink, you would have missed it. If you blink, you would have missed it. But Arteta walks past Wanyeri, and Wanyeri kind of, you know what I'm saying, they kind of just look him up and down. You know when you look someone up and down? The way he did anyway. The way I interpreted it, was that this man didn't seem necessarily happy with not being played. Now, we know that Wanyeri signed a new contract with Arsenal, loves Arsenal, wants to succeed with Arsenal. We know all of that. But a footballer is most happy when they are playing football. Fair? A footballer is most happy when they're playing football. And with Wanyeri this season, so far, he hasn't played as much football as I thought he'd play, or as much as he thought he'd play. Now, the season is long. It's a very long season. So many games in and coming. But if he's a central player, if he's seen more centrally as a backup to Odegaard and now Eze, he's got to get past Eze and Odegaard first to get into the team. You know, that's rough. But it's got to be done. And then if he was seen on the right-hand side, then he's now got Madueke and Saka in front of him. Even though Madueke is injured right now, he's still got Madueke and Saka in front of him. And I'm thinking as well, you know what I'm saying? Wanyeri actually could have started the game yesterday. I don't think we have too much of a different performance if Wanyeri starts the game yesterday, in my opinion. But I wanted to flag it because it did look weird, in my humble opinion. It did look very, very weird. I'm like, I'm not sure. I'm not too sure. But as I said, it could be overblown. I could have misinterpreted it wrong. We're only going to see if that was nothing at all as the season goes on. He wasn't on the bench for Newcastle, if I'm correct. Diamond was on the bench. And people were speculating, was he injured or this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. Did he pick up a knock? But he was on the bench for Olympiacos yesterday. So it's like, what's going on there? Do we need to be worried? I don't think so. I don't think we do. But I'm flagging it just in case. And that's it at the end of the day. If there was one negative, one real negative, we should have scored more goals earlier. Would have liked to see Wanyeri play. But at the end of the day, that's mainly it. I ain't got too many gripes about it. Because it's 6 points from 6, 2 wins from 2. And you can only be happy with that because with Arsenal, we want to make sure we secure a top 8 finish at the minimum. It's the minimum, it's the top 8 finish. Finishing outside of the top 8 is not, what's the word? It's not, my brain is gone, but it wouldn't be acceptable. It's unacceptable for Arsenal to finish outside of the top 8 with all the games that got coming up. Yeah, you know, to be fair, with the squad that they have now, they could probably manage it, but you don't need extra games in a World Cup year and everything else like that. Get the job done. And we have 2 wins from 2. And when the Champions League does return, our next game is against Atletico Madrid, who battered Real Madrid 5-2 on the weekend. So that's going to be an interesting game. Simeone versus Arteta. Ooh, boy. That's going to be a very, very, very interesting game. Very interesting game. But things are looking decent for the Arsenal at the moment. 2 points behind Liverpool. West Ham on Saturday. 6 out of 6 in the Champions League. In the 4th round of the League Cup. Everything looks decent so far. So, sorry, people. So far, so good. And that's all I can say. And that's all I will say for now. Because next up is West Ham at the Emirates. And I expect to win. I also expect Gyökeres to score in that game. I'm not worried about Victor Gyökeres one bit. I'm not worried about him one bit. So I'm saying it loud and clear now. I'm not worried about Victor Gyökeres. He will get his goals. Even though people forget he's already scored a couple times. 3 goals already. He's already scored. The more goals will come in due time. Not worried about it at all. As I said, West Ham on Saturday. So we'll be previewing that game. So make sure you subscribe to Arsenal TV. Make sure you're locked in for that. Also at 9 a.m. on Saturday, the Arsenal transfer setter is back and will be coming out 9 a.m. every Saturday, 9 a.m. So make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell to make sure you're notified, people. 10 likes. Let's get up to 10 likes on this video, nice and quickly. Smash the subscriber button. I can't even talk. Smash the subscriber button if you are new to Arsenal TV and leave your comments in the comment section down below of what you thought of this video and what you thought of the Arsenal win yesterday. And for the ones that maybe did see it, am I reaching with Ranieri? Am I reaching? Is there nothing to worry about? Let me know in the comments below. Love and guidance, people. Peace.